What's up, everybody? It's Joe from Complex. We're in New York City at Stadium Goods with the best in the world, CM Punk.
There's a pair of shoes over there that's 40 grand.
Yeah.
What the?
Gonna do some sneaker shopping today. Gonna see what he's feeling, what he's not, and then hopefully he's gonna buy some sneakers. Let's go. Punk, I want to talk about growing up in Chicago during peak Jordan era. What was it like? Like, did you ever get to see him play? I know maybe that you weren't really big into sneakers, but what was the impact like?
Yeah, you gotta preface this with, I was never ever into sneakers or shoe culture because I grew up predominantly a poor kid.
Right.
I could never afford Jordans. That was like a status thing even back then. But yeah, growing up in Chicago, you couldn't help but be a Bulls fan. Super awesome dynasty. And yeah, I got to go Chicago Stadium, see Bulls play. And that building was insane.
Yeah.
Still to this day. Well, actually, we might have beat it at the United Center when I debuted at AEW.
Couple weeks ago.
Loudest building I've ever heard in my entire life, Chicago Stadium. Just the way it was built, there wasn't a bad seat in the house. It just felt like it went straight up. And if you were sitting in the cheap seats, it felt like you could slide down and wind up crashing on some people below you. But yeah, Jordan back then and currently is just still so iconic.
Yeah.
Jordan is life.
And then, like, even though you weren't getting them, do you remember, like, seeing the Chicago ones all over the city? And do you have friends who were into it, or?
Yeah, so when everybody I went to school with had Jordans and they were like, check out my Jordans, I think I might have had a pair of British Knights.
Okay, so I had a pair of British Knights. Those were great though back in the day.
Were they? I think I got beat up.
Well, they had a moment, but it was like British Knights. Maybe people won't admit it like we will, but I definitely had a pair of British Knights. But
BKs, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't have any of the cool fancy stuff, and I think I caught hell for even getting British Knights because they were, not as expensive as the Jordans, but they were still, pricey, and that was about all I could afford at that time.
Your first job at the comic book shop.
Yeah.
Did you see any like similarities of like a rabid audience of people who are really into hobbies like comics? And then a lot of times comics and sneakers get compared to each other because if you don't get it, you may be like on the outside, but the audience kind of does cross over a little.
I get the correlation between comic books and sneakers, and I worked at All American Comics in Chicagoland area. Shout out. At a time when like special chase covers came out. So like foil embossed covers, holograms on the covers, like all that kind of special stuff. So I saw people who weren't into comics all of a sudden come in and they were looking for these, what they thought were gonna wind up making them millions of dollars in the future. They're gonna put them in a safe so their grandkids could just, walk down the street, cash them in one day and become billionaires. It didn't quite work out that way. Yeah, kind of similar.
And these, though, now they're going for like thousands. So it kind of did happen a little bit. Yeah. Like retail,
No, absolutely. Yeah. There's a pair of shoes over there that's 40 grand.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Punk, we have a friend of the show, Mosh. He's a customizer. He made these in 2016. Have you ever seen these?
I've seen these, yes. Power of social media, right?
Yes.
I saw these blasted out everywhere.
Chicago Jordan 10s, customized. So you saw these?
Yes.
And what did you think of them?
I think they're great. Yeah. Like I said, I understand the shoe culture because all different shapes, sizes, colors, I get accessorizing with whatever, outfit you're wearing and stuff like that. But I also get the functionality of a basketball shoe. That's why I was asking, when the cameras weren't rolling, I was asking what does LeBron wear?
Yeah.
Are these good shoes for basketball or is it just strictly fashion? It's good to know that they're good for basketball.
Absolutely. Yeah. Speaking of LeBron, you've been writing on your sneakers and it's been making mainstream news, people trying to figure it out, but you said basically you took that from basketball players. What made you do that besides seeing them do it?
I think one of the great things, the connection that the wrestlers in AEW have with the fans is special. I like to fuck with people, you know what I mean? I like to have fun and throw little Easter eggs here and there. It reminds me when I was a kid and I was looking at punk bands and they'd be wearing another punk band shirt. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's not about I need to be a better band. I gotta hold everybody down. It's about high tide raises all boats. Like everybody trying to help everybody else. And everybody's so excited coming to these AEW shows.
Yeah.
Like the fans are so into every single wrestler that walks through the curtain. It's just trying to just have fun with it, really.
Yeah.
Honestly. So like I'm scribbling on my shoes and people are trying to decode everything. And it just gives like another layer of the connection that we have to our fans, and it's fun.
I want to talk about 7 years you've been gone. Sneaker culture and wrestling has crossed over more than ever. Did you ever think that you would see a $4,000 sneaker used as a prop? It's a Travis Scott Jordan 1. This happens, Young Bucks put the tax on it.
So it's ruined now, right? Like, or is it worth more money now that Matt Jackson used it in a match? That's interesting.
Did you ever think that you would see sneakers used as a prop?
No.
Yeah.
No, it's great. It's crazy because people who aren't into wrestling, they're into sneakers, see that, and they might wind up getting into wrestling and vice versa,
Punk, another shoe that you wore recently, a classic, Vans. What do you remember about those back in the day?
Again, never really been a huge shoe guy, but having to be on television every week, right? Like I figure I can't wear the same pair of shoes, So my wife would famously wear Converse. I didn't want to go that route. And Vans, I remember being a skate shoe, when I was a little skateboard kid. So, and to me, if I had a style, this would probably be more it, right? It's a little bit more simple. And when they do throw colors into some stuff, like it really pops. So I just remember like all the skate kids wearing the Vans, that was predominantly it.
Speaking about being married to a brand, I know that a lot of athletes get sneaker deals. Did anyone ever approach you in your career for a training shoe?
No.
No, interesting.
No. I mean, we wear wrestling boots, which are custom. Some of us wear wrestling shoes, and most people who wear wrestling shoes wind up covering them up somehow with pads or whatever. But, hit me up.
Okay.
Let's do a sneaker deal. Let's do it. Let's do it all.
Yeah.
Come on.
For sure. Well, we talked about everything. Now's the easy part. Browse the shelves, see what you're going to take home.
This is probably not going to be easy.
All right, let's do it.
What's good, bro? Welcome to the stadium. What can I get you?
This is a watershed moment. With me being from Chicago, coming back in Chicago, in the house that Jordan built, but having this shoe anxiety of wearing expensive shoes and feeling guilty about that, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get my first pair of Jordans, dude.
You're CM Punk, you shouldn't feel guilty.
I feel guilty. It's just, it's built in from trauma from my childhood, but these are badass to me. Red is my favorite color, and I think I wanna see if you got 12 in those.
So the bread in the 85s?
Yeah, classics, right?
You have to pop out with these though.
All right.
You pop out without?
Special occasion.
Always. I got you, bro, no worries.
Hey man, did you find everything good today?
I think so. We should probably do this in a hurry because I'm gonna get cold feet. I've never bought expensive shoes before in my life, so.
It's first time for everything, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so your total is gonna be $1848.75.
Ah!
You can do it.
All right. Okay.
All right, you're all set?
It's crazy. There's a pair of shoes over there for $40,000.
Yes, there was. That's correct.
What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
There you go.
Thanks, dude.
You're all set.
Appreciate you.
Take it easy.
So, Punk came through, leaving with 2 classics. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Oh, no problem. This is a winning moment, I think, for me and shoe culture in general. Broke kid from Chicago, comes from nothing, and at 42 years old, can finally afford his first pair of Michael Jordans.
See? You know where to find him. AEW, Wednesday and Friday nights on TNT. Thanks so much, man.
You're the man.
Thank you.